Welcome back, listeners, to another episode of The Snake Pit. I'm your host, Son of Bat, and tonight I'll be talking about JFK Reloaded. JFK Reloaded is a first-person shooter slash simulation game developed and published by Traffic Games, directed by Kirk Ewing, and released on Windows on November 22nd, 2004, meaning this came out on the 41st anniversary of the JFK assassination, which took place on November 22nd, 1963. And I'm just going to assume everyone listening to this knows about the JFK assassination. At this point, it's been talked about ad nauseum. There are many books, movies, documentaries, podcasts, and History Channel specials that have covered it in a far greater detail than I ever could. I highly recommend you check those out for more information on this. But basically, this game tries to go the route of the Warren Commission, saying that it was one shooter, Lee Harvey Oswald, who pulled this off with a shitty Italian rifle. I think most people believe that it was a coordinated attack by more than one shooter, probably two or three. Whether it was CIA or had help from the mob, we don't know the details. I don't know if we ever will, but it was definitely more than one shooter. But for the sake of the game, we're going to go with the idea that it's one. And, before I even get into the game, I might as well just talk about the history surrounding it, why it's so controversial, even if it's worth that title, how it was made. And is it a good game? Is it worth getting? So, yeah, let's jump in. JFK Reloaded was developed by Traffic Management, also known as Traffic Games, which is a company based in Scotland. The company's founding manager, Kirk Ewing, had actually worked on another controversial game in 2002. All my OG Rockstar fans out there are going to know this one. It's called State of Emergency. Classic beat-em-up shooter game. But what made this one so controversial was that it basically replicated the 1999 Seattle WTO protests, also known as the Battle for Seattle. So this guy knows controversial shit. And his task for his next game was to do a historical recreation type game, and it boiled down to either the Apollo 11 landing or the JFK assassination. He ended up choosing the latter because there was so much public domain stuff out there about it. And he was trying to disprove conspiracy theorists and prove that the Warren Commission was right in that it was one shooter. But again, I don't know about that. This game is essentially a simulation. It is possible to get close to that assassination or replicating it, but it takes a long time. And like I said, let's say it was 100. Once out of 100 playthroughs, you're going to get close to that assassination. Well, they didn't have 1 out of 100 when they did it. They did it in one go, which is fucking insane. So like I said, this goes back to being, it had to be 2 shooters. Anyway, this game, you take control of everyone's favorite MK Ultra patsy, in this case assassin Lee Harvey Oswald. You go up in the book depository and you gotta basically pull off a perfect 1,000 with this game. And how you do that is you gotta do the assassination almost exactly, or no, not even almost. You have to do it exactly as it happened in real life. That means the first shot has to miss. The second shot has to go through Kennedy's neck, pull that magic bullet bullshit, twist around, hit Governor Connolly and land in the car. And then the fucking third shot is supposed to cause the pink mist. And, it took me about 30 tries. I think the highest I got was about 880, which means I missed the first shot. I got it through the neck, but it didn't magic bullet because no bullet can fucking do that. And the last shot caused the pink mist, although this was really hard to accomplish. What happens is there's a specific spot on JFK's head in the game where if you hit it, it will literally explode like the Zapruder film. Mind you, this isn't a very gory game. The blood sprays they're kind of like Hitman Blood Money when you shoot someone, just a little red spray to indicate a hit. But when you hit that part of the head, it's like a 5% chance you'll hit it, maybe even slimmer than that, maybe a 2% chance that you'll hit it. When you do, this fucking thing explodes like a watermelon. It is crazy. There's almost like a Windows Movie Maker type thing. After you do the assassination, you can replay it and see the trajectory of your bullets, see how they hit and all that stuff. And it's very accurate. They put a lot of time into the bullet physics of this game, making it as accurate as possible, recreating Daily Plaza, having all the right people in the right places, the right cars and everything. It was just really accurate. The simulation is the best way to describe it. But when you replay it, you can watch your shots in slow motion. You can zoom in and close up them. And then the funny thing is, they're trying to disprove conspiracy theorists, but one of the main viewpoints you can switch to is the grassy knoll, so you can see the assassination from there. You can see it from the location that the Zapruder film was shot in. You can also even tweak the blood effects, and you can tweak the physics to make this game go absolutely crazy. You can alter history so that, like, you don't hit JFK. You can hit his limo driver and cause the whole motorcade to pile up. You can hit a random person. You can hit Jacqueline Kennedy if you were so fucking inclined to. This game is crazy. It apparently took about 6 months to develop. He got people who worked on State of Emergency, Grand Theft Auto, and Killzone to develop it. But what makes this tie into the first review I ever did, the first game one, Stainless Games had a hand in this. That's right, Stainless Games, the same company that made Carmageddon. Now, apparently Ewing had a friend who worked there, and they basically threw this in the Carmageddon engine. So I thought that was a pretty cool note to add to this. When it was released, he sent a letter to Ted Kennedy, who is the brother of JFK, at the time the only surviving one, and he was informed of the game's release on November 19th, 2004. Traffic Games then announced the game on November 21st, and then it just came out on the 22nd. Like I said, on the 41st anniversary of the assassination, which stirred a lot of fucking shit up when this game came out. Ted Kennedy actually denounced the game when it came out. Joe Lieberman fucking said he was, quote, to be sickened by the game, and a bunch of, like, basically politician assholes did not like this game. But I don't know, man. Fair use. It's a historical event that happened, and I don't really know what you can do about it. Like, it sucks, but I don't know what to say. It's not my fault that you were born into the Illuminati fucking favorited family, right? Since the beginning of time. Like, this whole family, the Kennedys, they have the death curse. Whether or not the CIA put it on them, the Illuminati put it on them, whoever you want to call it put it on them, they are fucking cursed. And if someone made a game about it, who cares? Because there's going to be movies, books, and games about it until every last Kennedy is no longer on the face of the earth. So I don't really know what he was planning on doing, especially with a computer game this low budget. But hey, low budget. Maybe I just put my foot in my mouth there. Apparently there was a game held for this to boost the commercial performance. And the company held a month-long competition to get players to replicate the shooting as accurately as possible. And the reward was a supposed cash prize of up to $100,000 depending on the game's review. So basically, depending on how good the game did is a major factor in how much payment the player would get on their fucking shooting, right? So essentially, this kid from Paris, this 16-year-old, basically won, and he only received $10,000, which isn't pretty bad for sitting around playing games and reenacting one of the craziest assassinations in American history. Not a bad way to make some fucking money. Now, a lot of people, like I said, did not like this game, but a lot of people said it was remarkable in the aspect of bullet physics and simulation. It was nauseating, though, to some because, like I said, you're shooting the fucking president of the United States. So a very controversial game when it came out. I actually remember hearing about this game way back in the day, I think on a Game Ranks video before their channel was as big as it is now. Shout out Game Ranks, shout out Falcon, you know what it is. But basically, Falcon did this, like, top 10 most controversial games list of all time. And it wasn't the shit you see now on YouTube where it's like, oh, Manhunt, Grand Theft Auto, Mortal Kombat. No, this was like crazy shit like Hatred, VTech Rampage, Custer's Revenge, like all that kind of stuff. And the list basically broke down in two ways. You had a bunch of weird porn or rape games, which aren't very interesting unless you're a total degenerate. But the other half of the games were really fucked up, violent shoot 'em up games like 6 Days in Fallujah, Hatred, and JFK Reloaded. And this game always was interesting to me, mainly due to the fact that I've always been interested in the JFK assassination. Ever since I saw Oliver Stone's movie, it literally warped my perspective. I was like a fucking child when I saw that movie too. So I've been crazy for a long time, folks. But I enjoyed that movie. I enjoyed reading about it. I have a couple books on it. It's very interesting. It's the safest conspiracy theory to talk about with people. Once you start diving into the more crazy ones that I tend to do, you kind of lose people or shock the shit out of them. But I always found the JFK assassination is one that everyone relatively knows, and it's pretty easy to bring up. So I fucking was like, all right, how do I find this game? And I think back in 8th grade, I actually found it. It's abandonware, so you can get this game for free. And I've had it on a USB for like over 10 years, and every computer or laptop I've ever had has had this game on it, as fucked up as it sounds. But it's actually fun. Like, the reviews are right. Like, the shooting is really good. I have no real moral compass when it comes to this kind of shit, so I don't really feel a ways about recreating the JFK assassination. I think it could have been more exploitive. I mean, if you put the physics shit on, it's pretty wacky, and like that could be in poor taste, but it's a fucking video game. It wasn't that bad. It's hard though. It's a hard fucking game to get a perfect 1,000. I don't know. I want to see if there's any videos of this kid from Paris playing the game and how he got the score he got. I wonder what he got, because I swear to God, if I was my age now in 2004 and I got this game, I feel like I could have won that money, folks. I'm going to be dead honest. As fucked up as it sounds, I feel like I could have been the good MK Ultra assassin for this game, because it took me about 30 tries, but I fucking nailed it. I feel like you guys could do it too. It's, again, a free game. You can check it out, install it. Maybe you'll like it, maybe not. Maybe you'll say I'm a sick fuck for recommending it. But again, it's not the worst thing I ever played. Like, on that list on Game Ranks, there was some really bad games. Like, one of the shooter games I remember playing out of pure curiosity was this one called Ethnic Cleansing, and it was shit. It was total shit. Like, the controversial stuff, like, you know, like it wasn't even offensive. It was just stupid. It was a stupid game. It ran like shit. The shooting was garbage. This game was actually made by people who know how to make games, and it felt like a game. There's not much to do other than the assassination, but like I said, the replay value is there if you want to make things get wacky and turn on the blood and physics, and you can do some crazy shit, rewrite history, be the savior, the American hero, make Lee Harvey Oswald the American hero that they mentioned in Family Guy. And yeah, it's like, I don't know, man. It's, as controversial games go, there's definitely worse ones. It was fun figuring out that the guys who worked on Carmageddon worked on this was pretty wild. And yeah, anyone likes shooter games or simulator games, I recommend you check this out. It's free, so like, you know, what's the worst it could do other than give your computer an STD? In which case, that's not my fault. I didn't tell you to do that. The only people I feel like that would get offended about this are like the same people that get offended about everything. I call them pussies. Yeah, definitely worth the try. If I were to rate this, I'm going to be honest, the graphics, it's an old game. And I feel bad rating it on a lower scale because it's an old game and it looks older, but I'm probably going to have to give this about a 6.5. It's playable. It's not a serious game. It's something you have on your desktop and you throw. It's kind of like, and I don't want to talk down on Carmageddon because I love Carmageddon. It's one of those casual games you throw on and just fuck around with. You know what I mean? Like, again, I'm going to praise the bullet physics. They're really good. It made the game really hard, and it gives a challenge. It's one level, but it's challenging. Like, who knew trying to take out the fucking president would have been so hard? But yeah, this hasn't swayed my opinion. I still think it's two shooters. I just think this is a novelty game. As far as the controversial ones go, like I said, you could do a lot worse. This is up there. This is up there with Super Columbine Massacre RPG, which I hope to review at some other time. Another wild, wild game. Also kind of misunderstood in my opinion. But yeah, if you guys like this episode, if you like more video game reviews, more controversial reviews, don't forget to drop a like, comment, subscribe down below. Thanks for chilling here. I'm going to go burn one. Have a good one. Peace.